G'day. I thought I'd do a bit of a quick video about how I'm doing reflow soldering. Now the basic concept here is you put the solder paste, which I've got here, solder paste on the board, put the components on that with tweezers, stick it in a toaster oven, toast it, measure the temperature with a digital temperature sensor there, and then it reflows the components. Now I'm just going to do a bit of a thing about how I place the components. How I do the solder paste is you get the solder paste, squeeze it out. Oops, I haven't got the, just need a little bit in there just to help me do that. Just squeeze it out like that on all the components. Now I'm doing these 5 at a time to speed it up. These are PLCC LEDs. Like that, they don't need to be too spot on. That's plenty of paste. Alright, I'll just do one of these. Alright, and then we get the LEDs out. Get the tweezers, grab the LED, sit it on the pad like so. Yeah, I've already worked out which way around these go, and they're lined up the right way, like so. This one goes around this way, like so. And then I've got a resistor, 200 ohm resistors to run these 3 LEDs off 12 volts. I'm actually making a digital clock out of these. It's going to be incredibly bright, as you'll see. That's one of these done. Now I'll do the rest. Now we're just going to put them in the oven. Another batch of 5 to make it up to 10 to go in the oven. Okay, so now we've got another batch ready to go in the oven, and put it in there. And okay, we've got our temperature probe set up measuring the temperature of the board in there. So we'll put it in and put some boards like that. Now we'll turn it on with both heating elements on. look at that, it's just started to go at about the right temperature. So when it gets up to 200, we'll turn the power off. So the battery went flat. I realised it was getting to the good bit, but what happened was temperature went up to about when the temperature got up to about 200 degrees. Flicked the power off at the switch, and it gently coasts up to about 215 or so, and drops back down. You don't touch it you don't touch it until it gets below the melting point of solder, which is about 183. But I usually leave it to about 170 just to be sure. And you open the door, get them out, and you get these, and they do work. I'll hook this up. As you can see, they're rather bright, so that sort of belies how, doesn't show how bright they are, but they're very bright. The particular oven I'm using is this one from Aldi. It was about, I think, 30 bucks or 20 bucks or something, not very much. Lumina 12 or something. It's 1000 watts, which means it heats up quite fast. And yeah, it was just from Aldi, really cheap one. Another point I'd like to make is don't use it for food. Buy one cheap one especially for it. And only use it for that and nothing else. Because the solder fumes are extremely dangerous. If you get some of the solder fumes, they'll leak into. Yeah, they're very dangerous. So yeah, don't get it. Don't use the oven for anything else. And for a thermocouple probe, I'll just show you this. I've got my whoops. For a thermocouple probe, I've got my Digitech QM1538. It's only a pretty cheap meter, 50 bucks from JCar. They don't sell it anymore. It's a great little meter though. Hooked up to a high temperature thermocouple probe, which I've put in this little aluminium clamp, which is bolted onto the board with just a small gap there. So when you sit a board on there, you just lift that up and sit it on a exposed piece of copper like that, and that will measure the temperature directly on the board there. So that's how it works.